Probability. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the application of probability in genetics. Giving birth to a child is rebirth for a mother. We all know that she will either give birth to a girl or a boy child. But what are the chances for a mother to give birth to a girl baby alone? We really don't know. However, the mathematical measure probability can help in knowing the likelihood of a mother to give a birth to a girl or a boy baby. Wondering what this mathematic concept can do with genetics? This is what we are going to discuss in this lesson. The concept of probability can be explained by simply rolling a dice. We aim to obtain the number 3. Now, the chance of obtaining number 3 is always 1. However, the total number of possible events to obtain number 3 is 6. Thus, the probability can be defined as the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. Probability is always expressed by a number between 0 and 1. If the probability is 0, then it indicates that an event has not occurred. When probability is applied to genetics, it will help in predicting the likelihood in inheriting the traits across generations. Gregor Mendel, regarded as the father of genetics, used the probability concept in his crossbreeding experiments to predetermine the outcome of crossing a large population of pea plants. Mendel basically used 2 rules in his breeding programs. They are the sum and the product rule. Now, let us discuss them in detail. The sum rule states that the probability of occurrence of either one or more mutually exclusive events is the sum of their individual probabilities. This can be explained with a monohybrid cross for obtaining only heterozygous dominant trait in the F2 generation. In a monohybrid cross, when the pea plants with alleles capital T, small t and capital T, small t for tall phenotypes are crossed, the probability of obtaining a heterozygous dominant trait in the F2 generation is calculated as probability of capital T from the first plant and small t from the second plant plus probability of small t from the first plant and capital T from the second plant, that is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 gives 1 by 2. Thus, the probability of obtaining a heterozygous dominant trait in the F2 generation is 1 by 2. Now, let us discuss about the product rule. The product rule states that the probability of simultaneous occurrences of 2 or more independent events is the product of the probabilities of occurrence of each of these individual events. The product rule can be applied to a monohybrid cross for obtaining one recessive trait in the F2 generation. In a monohybrid cross, when the pea plants with a phenotype capital T, small t and capital T, small t for tall phenotype are crossed, the probability of obtaining a homozygous recessive phenotype small t in the F2 generation is calculated as probability of small t from the first plant multiplied by probability of small t from the second plant, that is 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 2 gives 1 by 4. Thus, the probability of obtaining a homozygous recessive phenotype in the F2 generation is 1 by 4. Mendel's experiments demonstrated that if the parental traits are known, the traits of the offspring can be predicted precisely even before fertilization. After Mendel, in the early 1900s, Reginald C. Punnett devised a methodology to predict the outcome of specific breeding experiments in pea plants. This method is known as Punnett square. In the later years, geneticists have been using this Punnett square for determining the offspring that possesses a specific genotype and phenotype. The Punnett square can be explained using a monohybrid cross involving two different pea plants which are incompletely dominant, that include plant with red flower having homozygous dominant trait R and plant with white flower having homozygous recessive trait r. Here, the capital R represents the dominant allele, while the small r represents the recessive allele. In the F1 generation, we will obtain pea plants with pink flowers having heterozygous dominant trait R. The probability of obtaining pea plants having heterozygous dominant trait R with pink flowers in the F2 generation can be calculated using the Punnett square. Here, the Punnett square is represented with heterozygous dominant F1 phenotypes on the top as well as on the left-hand side. By crossing R with R, we obtain R on the left-hand top square representing homozygous dominant trait. And by crossing R with r, we obtain R on the left-hand bottom squares representing the heterozygous dominant phenotype. By crossing R with r, we obtain R on the right top representing the heterozygous dominant phenotype. By crossing r with r, we obtain r in the right bottom square representing the homozygous recessive phenotype. In this cross, the probability of obtaining homozygous dominant phenotype for red flowers is 25%. The probability of obtaining heterozygous dominant phenotype for pink flower is 50%, and the probability of obtaining homozygous recessive for white flower is 25%. Although Punnett square is a very useful tool in genetics, it has few practical limitations too. For example, when we have to cross A small a, B small b, C small c, D small d, E small e, and A small a, B small b, C small c, D small d, E small e, we have to use a Punnett square with 1024 boxes, which is practically impossible. Thus, the sum and product rule techniques are more preferable in genetics when using large phenotype or genotype data sets. Summary. Well, that has been an interesting lesson on the application of probability in genetics. Let us recall what we have learned so far. Probability is denoted as the number of favorable outcomes to the total number of possible outcomes. Sum rule, product rule, and Punnett square are the predominantly used probability methods to predetermine the phenotypes in the F2 generation. The sum and the product rule are preferred over Punnett square when dealing with large phenotypic or genotypic data.